So, what is the probability that a student spends more than 2 hours online? So given that you think an average Towson student spends 90 minutes online with a standard deviation of 25, what is the probability that you think that if you were to randomly pick a student, that they would be into World of Warcraft or something like that, and they spend more than 2 hours online? Actually, if they're into World of Warcraft, it's probably like 4 or 5 hours. Because I believe that is the great giant sucking sound of internet time. So we could answer this question. What is the probability that a student spends more than 2 hours online? Now, one thing that I'll say here in this problem, and we'll talk about this actually when we talk about the sampling distribution, is the key here is the assumption of the 90 and the 25 minutes. We're making an assumption in this case that the mean is 90 minutes and the standard deviation is 25. If those things are incorrect, then everything else we're going to do is incorrect here. Okay? But we're going to go with them and think that, at least for right now, they're right. So I'm asking here, what is the probability that x is greater than 120? I've converted 2 hours into 120 minutes. Okay. I need everything to be in the same unit, so in this case, because the mean and standard deviation are in minutes, I'm converting 2 hours into minutes. Likewise, if you want to convert the minutes into hours, that's also perfectly fine. Okay. You can do it either way, it doesn't really matter. In this case, I'm asking what's the probability that x, and now what I mean by x is a random variable. And x is a random variable about time online. So x is really x online. Yeah?
It's about to cut off.
Okay, well I'm going to finish this quickly.
All right.
So what we're going to do to this is we need to convert this to a z. We need to convert this to a z. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the following formula. Z is equal to x. Okay? Well, I got the formula up.
Okay. Now it's, I guess it's recording something new. It started over.
Okay. Well, we'll see what it does. I don't know. I've never tried to fill it that much, but... So, in this case, what we're going to do is we have this formula, z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma. And what we can do with this is we can actually use the formula at this point to convert this. So this is the probability of x minus mu divided by sigma is greater than 120 minus the mu of 90 divided by the standard deviation of 25. Or in this case, the probability that z is greater than 1.2. So what is the probability that z is greater than 1.2? So it turns out in this case, if the mean is 90 and the standard deviation is 25, 120 minutes or 2 hours is the equivalent of being 1.2 standard deviations above the mean. So in this case, 120 minutes is the same as being 1.2 standard deviations above the mean. And now at this point, what we've been doing here, we can apply here. So we can just draw this out. So we're looking at this area, we're looking at the area above 1.2. We know the area above 0 is 1/2. Again, we know that through symmetry. If we look up 1.2, we find the area between 0 and 1.2 by using our z-chart is 0.3849. So I look up 1.20 in my z-chart. I find that that's the equivalent of 0.3849. And so in this case, this probability is 0.5 minus 0.3849. Or in this case, again, answer of 0.1151 or 11.51%. So overall, in this case, it wouldn't be very unusual to find a student who spends more than 2 hours online. I mean, it's not happening all the time, but it's 11%, which means about 1 in 9 people would be in that case. So 1 in 9 is not very unusual. In a class like this, that means there would be about 4 of you that would fit into this category. So definitely not something unusual or unexpected. And so what we're going to do next after we go, after this, is we're going to talk about the sampling distribution. Where what we're really interested in is what's going on with X bar. So we're interested, I go out, I survey 100 students. I ask those 100 students how much time did they spend online. And then I get a mean from them. And what statements can I make from the mean of 100 students about the general population? And so I'm going to ask the question, if I go out and I interview 100 students and they say on average they spend 93 minutes online, is that unusual given that I think students spend 90 minutes online? Okay. And so that's where we're headed to after the break. So have a good spring break. Enjoy it. Do not kill many brain cells. That would be a bad idea. I do want you to still be coherent when you come back. So enjoy it. If you go down to Florida, say hi to my parents, and I will see you all sometime after spring break. I will email if we have a delay or cancellation either that Tuesday or that Thursday. So have a good spring break, and I'll see you sometime in the next few weeks.